mention too. So Zion Williamson's, we haven't talked about him in a while. His relationship with Pelicans VP David Griffin has never really been the greatest, and a recent article has shined some light on where the discord started. So according to an article by Christian Clark of NOLA.com, the issue started with the handling of Zion's injuries in 2020. So it said throughout his rookie season, Williamson had grown increasingly frustrated with the Pelicans for the number of hoops they required him to jump through to return from the knee injury he suffered in the preseason. Williamson's relationship with Griffin had also begun to sour, although they communicate infrequently now. Griffin tried hard in Williamson's rookie year to forge a bond.
This thing is not going to end well.
It's
just there's
probably not.
There's a lot of smoke here.
And there's a lot that's happened since Zion's been there as well, like the coaching firings. And another part of the story said that he tried to meet with him in the bubble, David Griffin did, and then played the piano for him, which is obviously incredibly awkward. Have you ever had someone play an instrument or sing for you? Like privately?
Privately?
Yeah.
No. What, have you?
Oh my God.
What?
It's like, it makes me sweat.
I was a boyfriend or something?
It was the guy who like pulled his guitar out and started singing, and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, what do I do?
Was it public?
No, it was private.
You were sitting in a grotto.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, wow, wow. Want to hear some Whitesnake?
No, his own song.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. That is awful. What was the song called? This'll be our last date?
Yeah, yes, is exactly what he should have called it that.
So how did you react to it?
I don't know. I mean, I was just incredibly awkward. It's so awkward. What do you do? Do you clap? I didn't know what to do, but it's all I could think about when I heard the story. Is like, it's so, like, you're meeting with Zion, like trying to forge this relationship, and like you're gonna play the piano for him.
By the way, was it a love song?
No, it was like some angst song.
Oh.
It was one of the most awkward interactions I've ever had with a human.
My parents didn't love me.
Yeah.
Bow wow. What do you think of it? It was like that?
I don't want to say like I remember the lyric because it's this
oh,
traumatic
God, tell
event's
me.
burned in my mind.
I'll pay for it. I will buy lunch.
I was watching. I don't really talk to this man in 15
Tomorrow
years,
we're going to play a game.
Okay.
Our best for last is going to be, you're going to give us, we're going to do personal joy trivia we'll give you options on the.
Okay, that's fine. We could do that. We could do that. Yeah, it was incredibly awkward.
I'm uncomfortable talking about it. I'm sweating.
Yeah, I sweat. My hands are sweating every time. It's so awkward. Do not do that. Like, I understand if that's your talent, but if it's not requested, like if the guitar's in the corner, I'm like, oh, like play me a song. That's different. But don't just like offer that up.
Let me guess his name. Because a guy that would do that would be named Drew or Eugene.
Eugene. Oh, sorry to any Eugenes that are watching. So the Pro Football Hall of Fame announces nominees for the 2022 class, and there are some big names. First-time nominees: Anquan Bolden, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Steve Smith Sr., Jake Long, Nick Mangold, Robert Mathis, Vince Wilfork.
Oh, he was good.
DeMarcus Ware, yes, and Antonio Cromartie.
Andre Johnson feels like a slam dunk.
Yes.
That one's the slam dunk. Steve Smith Sr., Steve Smith feels like a Hall of Famer.
I mean, Devin Hester, arguably the greatest kick returner in history.
Vince Wilfork feels like... So Wilfork, Andre, Steve Smith, I'm not even going to argue over. Then you get into... I'd have to see DeMarcus Ware's stats. I think he probably is. You have to see his numbers.
Well, I mean, they're first-time nominees, so they're obviously in the conversation. But
Anquan Bolden had a hell of a career too.
Incredible career.
He wasn't very flashy, but he had a great career. All right, I'm sweating. Joy with the news.
Well, that's
some financing is back. Head to netsuite.com/herd right now. Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
We got a little spice. A little spice between Matt LaFleur.
What's going on?
And Kyle Shanahan. Mike Silver gave us a little behind the scenes for what happens, allegedly, in this situation. So, it was reported that the 49ers reached out the night before the draft to see if Aaron Rodgers was available. And head coach Matt LaFleur was asked if it bothered him, to which he responded yesterday he holds no ill will towards Kyle Shanahan. Well, according to Mike Silver, might not be entirely true, Silver reported that after word came down that Rodgers wanted to trade and the 49ers reached out about him, Shanahan had a phone conversation with Matt LaFleur's brother, Mike LaFleur, who's the Jets offensive coordinator with Robert Saleh, And Shanahan was joking that the Jets better not change their mind and take a different quarterback. And LaFleur said, I thought you had your quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. So he was kind of like teasing him. And Shanahan tried to brush it off and said, your brother hasn't called me back. And LaFleur said, can you blame him? So according to several people, Shanahan got really upset and left the room.
Ooh.
He felt he was just doing his due diligence on behalf of his franchise. And Matt LaFleur clearly viewed it differently.
Oh, so this weekend, the Packers-Niners game.
Well, it was a little spice. They worked together in Houston in 2008.
Woo.
And yes, they play each other this weekend. So the Niners are favored by 3.5 according to Buck.
Shanahan's going to rub it in if he can. Pour it on.
I don't know if either one of them are pouring it on.
I don't know. My question is, the Packers have no pass rush.
Yeah.
So Winston and Goff have had 7 touchdown passes. Garoppolo with time to throw is a very effective thrower. So Garoppolo's going to have time to throw the football. And what does that mean? He doesn't throw it deep a ton. Between Kittle, Deebo Samuel, it's like, dominate the time of possession. Aaron could become a spectator. If the Niners running backs were healthy, I think this could get out of hand. But they're not, so they'll be more pass reliant, more reliant on Garoppolo. So I think Green Bay's got a shot.
I think this is a bigger game for Green Bay than it is for San Francisco.
Same here.
Because we expected them to beat the Lions.
Let's ask yourself this. Green Bay gets rolled. 2 of the 3 weeks, rolled. And then Aaron goes on Monday and says, RELAX, no big deal. And then we react to him saying it's no big deal. Like this, Green Bay can lose. They got to lose the right way.
Yeah.
28-27, competitive. If they get rolled, you know what Monday is on every show in the country.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because they should have beat the Lions.
So should we be rooting for the Niners to roll them because it's better content?
We root for chaos.
Yeah, and I think we have to.
Yeah.
I think we have to root for the Niners to roll Green Bay because it's better content.
It's probably going to be better football if they don't.
Yeah, and we have it at Fox. It's a Fox game. Or is it Sunday Night Football? Who's got that game? So it's Sunday Night. NBC, we don't care. So we hope it. We have Bucks-Rams, which is the greatest game ever played.
Yes, it is the greatest.
So it's interesting, though. We have said this before. We don't really care about your teams, but we do root for content.
No, that's chaos. I am a I am a believer in anarchy.
So as I'm sitting there having soup, we're both kind of hoping San Francisco rolls.
We might not